Ya la traías de payasa. I didn't see.
Dr. Wheeler, what's wrong?
What?
What's wrong?
What do you mean, what's wrong?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I didn't see you today.
Still here, I'm not dead.
Good.
Just waiting for everybody to get on.
Dr. Wheeler, I sent you a text. The senior class, I don't think we got an email, but the juniors sent us the ID and password.
Yeah, I resent it. Gloria's got 2 different groups on. She has DH Junior and DH Juniors and DH Senior and DH Seniors. And I always have to figure out which one it is. Okay, it may be a minute before everybody jumps on. I'm gonna get up and go to the restroom in the meantime. Not that I publicly need to announce that, but still waiting. Not quite everybody is on.
I know Krista's having a hard time. The info on GroupMe wouldn't work for her, so I'm sending it again.
Okay. Okay, everybody turn their camera on. This is your textbook. See it? Okay. How many people have actually read, by showing of hands, how many people have actually read chapter 36? All right, so we have Jasmine, Lexi, Abigail. Let me check on the juniors. Kinsey, Jason, Ashley Haynes, Katie, Kaylee DiPolito. All right. Some of the juniors, okay. Okay, guys. So, not everyone is holding up their hand. Now, you may not have known it, but when you came to dental hygiene school, you implied, this is going to be a little side note on ethics, you implied that you wanted to be a dental hygienist. In fact, you expressed it. And we know that contracts can be implied or expressed. So when you said you were coming to dental hygiene school and you were accepted, that meant that you accepted a contract to learn. And my duty on the other end is to teach. Now, I can't very well teach about something that you have not already somewhat reviewed. So you should have read chapter 36 and viewed my lecture, which is actually pretty short, about 20 minutes. And if you have not done this, which it looks like the majority of you have not, you have violated the contract.
Dr.
Okay?
Wheeler,
Yes.
where is this lecture? Because all I could find was the PowerPoint, but not a lecture over it.
It is recorded under, and I'm going to try this and see if it works. Okay. Let me see if I can get this to pop up. Come on. All right. Can you see this now, Blackboard? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. Look over here. You have your homepage, the syllabus, the tentative schedule, the PowerPoints here and here. Or these are the, sorry, these are the dentalcare.com assignments. The PowerPoints and the readings. And down here, what says recorded 2021, and I'll just pop that open, are
That's
all your recorded lectures.
I have my page open as well, and that is not on it.
Look at recorded lectures.
It's
That's not on mine either.
It's not on
Okay,
there.
let me try
that-
something here. Why is it not? Can you see it now? Yes, no?
Yes, we can now.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So that's maybe my fault, but that's not my fault that you didn't read the chapter. Now, I did hear today that some of you don't have your book, but as you will probably figure out, I'm going to allude to the idea that that's part of your contract. Okay? So, I can't.
Dr. Wheeler.
Yes.
Mine still isn't popping up on Blackboard for the recorded lecture.
Okay. Let me see what else I can do.
I had to refresh it because I had mine open too. I just refreshed it.
Okay, try
Yeah,
that.
I did refresh it like 2 times and then I asked Dr. Wheeler, so.
Okay, well, I don't know. It doesn't show me. I don't have the link hidden. So it should be open. It doesn't have the
Yeah,
link.
I got it now.
Okay. All right. So let me stop sharing my screen. Oh, rats. Okay, now come back to you. Okay, so I can't ask you questions. What questions do you have about this material? Because you actually haven't read it or watched it, as we know at this point. So what I'm going to do, we have burned up our first night without getting anything accomplished. So what I'm going to do is tell you to read chapters 36 and 37. Watch both recordings. They're fairly short, only 20 minutes in length. I don't have a lot of commentary on them. And then next week we will discuss it. But it's pointless for me to discuss something you haven't covered at all, right? Any comments or questions? Those of you who have read it, would you like to enlighten the others? What did you learn?
One thing that I took away, there was a sentence in the chapter that said, when your patient with special needs comes in, you need to ask them how they like to be described.
Yes.
Because that's something I'd never thought about before. You know, some people think it's offensive if you say, oh, you're blind, you need to say a person that is visually impaired. But some people don't care how you describe them, but it's important that you ask.
It is. That's a good point, Katie. Thank you. Anything else from anyone else?
There
I
was
had a
one thing
question
that
about-
shocked me that the
Go ahead, Leslie.
with the Disabilities Act that it wasn't till 1990, so they didn't have anything till 2000s to help the I didn't know that. That was kind of shocking to me.
Yeah.
For only 20 years they've been able to get help.
Yeah, my first office was not necessarily that handicap friendly, but my newer office was, because it was mandated by law. Okay, Jackie, were you going to say something?
Yeah, so if there's a patient that has a legal guardian but also a caregiver, can you get consent from either one for treatment?
No.
Or
And I'm glad you brought that up. Legal matters such as consent have to be turned over to the legal guardian. The caregiver may merely be a person who's along just to help the patient, but not necessarily to make legal decisions. That's a good point. It does have to be the legal guardian. The caregiver can say, oh, that'll be okay, but they're not the ones that have the power to make the consent.
Dr. Wheeler, can the caregiver like sign like official documents on their behalf? Like if they say, yes, can you sign this if they're not able to physically sign? Can like the caregiver do that?
Do you see the caregiver being a legal representative if that's brought up in a court of law? No.
No, but I was asking because I did it for my mother because she can't sign. So sometimes I'll be there and they'll be like, can she sign for me? And I was like, I
Probably
never knew that
identifies
was
you
okay.
as her daughter.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Dr. Wheeler,
Yes.
will you let Andy in?
Yes. Okay, bad Andy should be getting on here pretty soon. I don't see her, but she may be on the next page. I don't see her on here. Okay, I don't know where she is.
I thought she was in the waiting room.
Yeah, I admitted her though. Oh, wait, maybe I didn't.
She's in now, Dr. Wheeler.
Okay.
Sorry.
Where are you?
Right here. It wouldn't let me on. It like wouldn't work on my computer. I had to restart my computer and then download the app or like update the app on my computer.
Okay. Well, it's just lovely that you chose to join us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You can get caught up by your friends and classmates, some of which may or may not be the same. Now, any other comments? We've heard some good ones from Katie, from Jackie, from Lexi. Does anybody else? Jason, you have anything to add?
Yeah, with certain disabilities, it's important to desensitize the patient and maybe practice the show, tell, do method.
Correct. Particularly when it comes to the autistic patient. Okay. Anything else?
I had a question about that, Dr. Wheeler.
Yes.
So at Children's, there was an autistic patient and stuff, and he was really big on like wanting to feel stuff, but I couldn't let him feel the edge of my sickle scaler, so I didn't know like what to do for that. I let him like feel the handle, but I don't think it really did much for him because he still was kind of like getting away from it. But the Profi cup was fine, but like what else are we supposed to do? Like if we can't actually scale them and we can only polish them, but there actually is calculus that we need to get off.
Did he have steady nerves?
What do you mean?
Did he make jerky movements?
He was fine. He was just kind of like since I wouldn't let him touch it because it was like really sharp and stuff, he kind of was like more like no about it, but everything else I let him feel like he was fine with, you know.
Okay. Well, you could say, now this instrument is very sharp on the end, and if you poke yourself, you may hurt yourself, and it may cause you to bleed. But I am trained to use this instrument as you are not. So I'm going to warn you that yes, I'll let you feel it, but it may hurt. But that's not the way I'm going to use it. I mean, if he was insistent on it. You know,
well, he wasn't. Like when I said, I don't know if that's a good idea, he kind of put his hand down, but then he like turned his head from me too. So I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. Well, you may have to work your way up to it. Maybe you let him feel a mirror. Maybe you even let him feel the end of a perioprobe. Then, if he's feeling adventurous, you may let him feel the end of an explorer. But say, if you poke yourself, this will be sharp. I'm going to warn you, that's how we find cavities. So,
thank you.
Just fair warning, okay? All right, so what do bartenders do all the time? Yeah. Somebody walks into a bar and says, oh, give me a Jack Daniels and Coke. Is the bartender going to say, I don't know, that's going to hurt you? No. Especially if this is an adult, you know, and you may need to ask the caregiver, what do you think? What's your advice? Did you ask the dental hygienist that was there?
They were in like a different room at the time. Like it was literally just me and the patient, and I didn't want to like get up to bother them. So I kind of was just like, like I did the best that I could, you know, and like they came in after me and it was like, there wasn't much to clean. So
okay. You know. So was your job accomplished?
I felt I did the best that I could do considering that I hadn't seen a patient of that type before, and I still like was able to do the majority of what I've been trained to do from UAMS.
Okay. Well, I never had any training in special needs patients, and I had a few. I just kind of had to feel my way along. You know, I had one that communicated with a alphabet board where she tapped on the board to spell out what she wanted to tell me. And then, unfortunately, she could speak some words, but they were words that I should not repeat. Yes. All right. Anybody that else have any comments or questions?
You gotta be careful what local you use too with special needs
Sure.
patients, because you don't want something that's going to have prolonged anesthesia, and then they could cause a self-harm
Yeah.
after the procedure's over.
That's true. And then if you have patients with certain medical conditions, there are certain, as you will learn juniors later on, there are certain anesthetics that you do not want to use, or you want to use them in limited amounts. Okay. Any other comments or questions?
I have a question, Dr. Wheeler.
Yes, ma'am.
So if we have a patient who has, like, let's say cerebral palsy, and they don't like have full function or like full control of their muscles, like their jaw muscles or something, could we even give them local anesthetic?
Yes.
You can, even though like they might bite their tongue.
Yes. You just want to use you may even use an anesthetic reversal agent, which we have now,
Okay.
where you actually inject something after you get numb and finish your work. You inject something to make them come unnumb.
I got you.
Right? Or you use something that wears off rapidly, like carbocaine. Okay. Juniors, I can't see your faces. I'm just going to move from screen to screen for a minute. If anybody has a question or a comment, you can, there's a way to put your hand up. I can't remember how you.
Dr. Wheeler, my little just reached out to me, and their class has not set up a dentalcare.com profile. So I just wanted to go and tell all the juniors, you just go to dentalcare.com, and then you can make a profile there. When you get to the link about her dental care assignment, you should be able to just plug in that assignment code, and you can find the course.
They don't work though. She's gonna have to update the assignment numbers because none of them work.
All right.
Okay.
I can do that. All right. So for now, I want you guys to read 36 and 37 and watch my recordings on those, okay? Does anybody else have a question or a comment? We will probably go longer next time just to catch up on 36. But it's basically an introduction to special needs. Okay? What else? Peyton, you look like you're thinking hard. Holstead? No?
No.
Oh, perhaps I should ask some pharmacology questions.
No, no. I heard you did that today.
Yes.
Thank goodness I wasn't in clinic.
Well,
Dr.
you
Wheeler.
will be sometime.
Tomorrow, I know.
Okay?
I know.
Be ready. You
Dr.
guys,
Wheeler, I heard you were mad at us today.
I am deeply troubled. Let's just say that. I am deeply troubled by what was exhibited.
Well, I mean, can you give us like a small break because we've been gone for a month? Just a small
I
one?
give you a small break.
Okay.
But if you're in the clinic treating a patient, you better be able to tell me what medication they're on. Okay?
Okay.
That's your duty. And as part of your legal contract with the patient. Okay? They give you all this information. You plug it in and figure out how to treat them. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But I was deeply disturbed by the answers or the lack thereof that I had today. And stuff we had just had a final over, and I heard over and over, I don't know. That's scary. We've never ever had a class from this university not make it through pharmacology on the boards. Now I'm worried. And remember, I stay late on Tuesdays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and usually Thursdays, at least for the next 4 weeks. And I always tell you, you can come ask me questions. You can sit in my office. You can call me. Seniors have my phone number and can text me. And some take advantage of it and some do not at all. And juniors, the seniors will be sharing my phone number with you via GroupMe. Madeline, would you take care of that?
I will.
Okay. Do not abuse it. If you have a valid question, that means you really cannot figure it out, then you can send me a text or send me a text and say, hey, can I call you in a minute? And I'll tell you yes or no. And I do this because pharmacology is such a challenging, and as you may have gathered from what you're hearing from me tonight and some of the students about their experiences in clinic today, it's challenging and it's difficult to keep up with, and it's something you have to do every single day. Okay, now this class involves a fair amount of pharmacology when it talks about special patients. So juniors, if you are unable to grasp what they are trying to tell you and you need to talk to me, please do so. There's no reason for someone to go down the tubes if you reach out a hand, okay? I see Glover shaking her head and Boatwright. Let me see where the other juniors are. I really hate Dippolito. Are you good with that? Okay. Nikki, Rachel, Amber, got it. Anna Gibbs, Tarnell, you reached out to me early. I sent you some extra stuff to share, or I believe I sent it to all of you. So should you have legit questions, please ask them. The seniors may make it sound like I'm unapproachable. I do get aggravated when someone asks me something stupid, but I will calm down and lower my blood pressure and try to help you get through it. What are you laughing about, Peyton?
Because sometimes they're legit questions and sometimes we really are confused.
I know.
And we don't think we're stupid.
I know.
And then we ask a question and you're like, you're stupid.
No, I have never said you're stupid.
No, you haven't.
Okay.
She has never said that.
Okay.
Sorry.
I may have a face, look on my face like, oh my God, why don't they know this? But that's just my face. And the seniors are used to my face, I think, because I have pretty much resting bitch face. Most of the time, if I get aggravated, it may turn a little red and things may get a little exciting, but it doesn't last long. And I can usually talk myself off the ledge, but I need for you to participate, okay?
You got your clonidine?
What?
You got your clonidine?
No, they upped my metaprolol, which, by the way, is what kind of drug?
A beta blocker.
Oh, thank God.
I got asked that question today.
Yes,
Yep.
you did.
Yep, I did.
What did
Yeah.
you say?
I said I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that was a bad one.
I just can't tell you right now.
Yeah, you're being
I'm
honest.
sorry.
I
And
appreciate
then I
that.
asked for a couple of minutes, and she said, no time.
No, they
No
should be
minutes.
answering that boom, 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 boom.
My brain works slow. I don't know. Something's wrong.
You have an
I think I need
emergency. And what if I'm having a heart attack? Is your brain going to work so slow that I croak?
I'll go get you some nitroglycerin or whatever and say that you'll be okay.
Okay, and are you
Go
going
and
to
call
remember where the
911.
nitroglycerin is?
In the box.
And what else?
Med box that I gotta get unlocked.
What else you going to get?
Some aspirin?
What else?
Some oxygen?
Oxygen. Yes.
Oh, good. Yeah, they didn't
Okay.
they totally good.
All right.
That's great.
All right.
I'm turning off this. I don't want to be questioned, okay?
All right.
All right, now.
Okay. So juniors, I may seem kind of intimidating. I'm really not. Hey, good. What are you laughing about? She's laughing so hard she can't talk to me. Okay. So, but you really need to help me out here and read the material. Okay. All right. So by next week, read chapters 36 and 37 in your book. Hopefully you all have your book by then. Juniors, do you have your books? Yeah, I hear some nods. I mean, I don't hear some nods. I see some nods. Okay, so read those 2 chapters. You can ask me questions during the week. You can ask me questions in clinic if you have time. You can say, I really don't understand this. I want to come talk to you, or can we meet by Zoom? And I can not tell you how many times I have extended myself and nobody takes advantage of it. So here I am throwing myself out there.
And I'm just double checking. Our exams are going to be on Tuesday nights,
They
correct?
sure are.
Okay.
Now I've had the question of, if you don't make it home by Tuesday night, and if you don't, or something happens, if you get stuck on the interstate, send me a text and tell me, and I can extend the time. I can go in and extend the time for that. I may just ask Dr. Tucker to do that automatically through ExamSoft, okay? So we don't have to worry about somebody being left out.
We can start the test a little bit late too, right?
Yes.
Me too. Okay.
Yes. I'll make sure, but I believe that is correct.
Just kind of.
In fact, I'm going to write myself a note right now. Okay. Any other questions, anybody? No,
I do have a question.
Okay.
When we do have our exam, I'm assuming we do not meet for class that day, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We will only have the exam on those nights.
Okay. Thank
Now,
you.
your first one, I believe we have a total of 3 exams, 1 and 2, and then a final. The first one is coming up about mid-February. So you need to get through these chapters relatively fast. And yes, I know you're taking a lot of classes. I'm not unsympathetic, but I made it through 4 years of dental school, and I'm pretty sure you can do this, right? Because I was in the lab all the time doing lab work until 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and then I had to go home and read. So I lived, ate, and breathed, not hiding, but dentistry for 4 years. This is only a 2-year program. You say, well, I have to have a life too. Well, not for this 2 years, you don't. Okay? All right. Any other comments? Julie, you look like you want to say something.
I don't, I promise.
Okay.
So just to be clear, we will be getting new assignment numbers for the dentalcare.com.
Yes, ma'am. I'll have to go in and take care of that.
Okay.
I thought the links were all in this one section on Blackboard, but I may have to go into dental care and reassign them.
Okay.
And I forget about that, so I appreciate whoever brought that up. Can't remember now. And thank you for your comments, Katie, Jackie, Lexi, and anybody else, Lindsay, whoever else commented and chirped in, Jason. All right, so I'm tired. I'm sure you guys are tired. It's going to be a long few weeks. We'll kind of get into the groove and things will start to flow. All right. I'm going to sign out. If anybody else has any questions, Madeline, don't forget to put my phone number in the group me. Juniors, again, just don't abuse it.
Put it in the chat for everybody to see. That way everybody has it right now.
Okay.
I wouldn't forget.
Oops. Back. How do I enter it? Just hit enter. Okay, there it is. Hey, I'm still figuring this out. I was doing good to share my screen. Okay.
We're very
Ashley
proud.
Glover, what are you laughing about?
Me?
Glover. Or Glover. Is it Glover or Glover?
It's Glover.
Okay, Glover. I can just see her. Dipolito, you look like you're smirking about something too. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go, kids. I'll see you next time, okay?
Bye, kids.
Be ready for farm tomorrow.